Hey there, it's Kenner French. We're with the Vast Voice telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. We're going to be talking about none other than virtual assistants and overseas employees, which might be a controversial topic, but it could put money in your pocket, Mr. or Mrs. Entrepreneur. And we're joined here by co-host Lily Faulkner.
Hi, everybody. Super excited for today's topic. I agree with Kendra. It can be controversial, but I think that we've got some really good points for how this could benefit you. So I'm excited to get into it.
I love it. Let's get into it. By the way, who's us? Who am I? I'm Kenner French with vastsolutionsgroup.com, but we're not here talking about that. We're talking about, employing people overseas, either as, I guess, employees or W-2, or whatever, contractors, whatever the case is. So let's get right to it. Are you an advocate of it, Lily?
I am an advocate of it. Yes, I think if it's done right and used for the right reasons, I think I am an advocate of it for sure. It definitely can save money in your business, especially as a new entrepreneur when you're trying to get a head start. And also, there are incredible people that can bring in support. And I think 2020 taught us a lot about how you can do more things virtually. And you can bring in support from anywhere in the world without having to have someone physically in your office that can come in and help grow your business. So I am definitely an advocate. Kenner, are you?
I am an advocate, but I'm going to play the devil's advocate side, if you
Sure.
will. What about taking jobs from U.S. citizens? Do you think that's okay? Maybe you're going to Egypt, or maybe you're going to, I don't know, the Philippines or India. Do you think it's okay doing that? What do you think about the moral obligation of an entrepreneur?
That's an interesting question, and I'm glad that you asked it. Don't we have a moral obligation to everyone in the world to make sure that the economy is running smoothly? At the end of the day, I think that we have removed boundaries with the internet and have shown that, for any given moment, you can get on a plane and 6 hours later, you're thousands of miles away. 12 hours later, you're across the world. So why should there be a moral obligation to keep the money in the same country that you're in? At the end of the day, if we are helping the economy as a whole worldwide, it could break barriers and not bring World War III, which
Yeah,
I
no,
know
I
that
get
that's
that.
extreme, but I think that I don't believe that it should be that we're taking jobs away from someone here. I think we're just giving to those that are talented anywhere across the world.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel as though if I'm paying someone in the US, whatever, let's just say I'm paying whatever, $20 an hour, and they're just getting by, right? Versus if I pay someone as a shareholder, someone in the Philippines, whatever, even $5 an hour.
Hmm.
$5 an hour might be totally helping them out, so they're rich in their village or whatever. So
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing something that's kind of cool for someone in that regard, like really making a life-changing event there by paying them every 2 weeks and enriching them, versus the person in the US, $20, it's not a big deal to them. I feel plus as a shareholder, I'm saving some dough in that regard. And plus, who knows, maybe the culture of that person in the, let's say, Philippines feels like they're that much more loyal to me as a result. So I do in general agree. I used to feel guilty. I used to feel like, dude, I am taking jobs away from someone in the US. But man, if I truly can help someone overseas make a difference in their life, I feel a lot better.
I agree with you. Yes. And you bring up a really good point on the loyalty aspect. I have found that there is a tremendous sense of loyalty in regards to employing someone overseas. I think that there's a greater sense of ownership in that they feel the chance that you're taking in bringing on someone internationally into your company. And in versus here, I feel like it can be a dime a dozen. We can go on to the next. It's no big deal. I'll just go next door with a job situation.
Hmm.
You have to also realize the two differences here. What are we talking about? Are we talking about employing, someone to come in and assist you, or someone to come in and have a role in your business? If you're saying that you're just bringing someone in and assisting and supporting, that's different. You are helping. But if you're bringing in someone to grow your business and be a partner, then I think that could play a difference in whether or not you go overseas or stay with someone next door. And there's that ownership in both of them. But I think that there's a distinction in the two.
No, wait a minute. Hold on. I might not agree. What do you mean? So are you saying you shouldn't hire someone if you want to grow your business and partner with them? Is that what you're saying?
I do feel that there could be some challenges if
Hmm.
you are bringing on someone overseas that's eventually going to be a partner or have a larger role in your organization. I do think that there should be some caution around that,
Gotcha. Yes.
versus just going out and bringing someone in to be a support in your organization, whether it's you personally with tasks or content, or project management. But yeah, I do think that there should be a difference in the two.
Yeah, I understand. So in the few minutes we have left, what's a downside? What's one thing some of our entrepreneurs out there should be really cautious of when they're talking about potentially hiring an overseas, I guess sometimes people call them virtual assistant?
Yeah, I think that the biggest exposure is that at any given day, they just can be gone, right? And you don't know what happened to them. You can't go pull up their address and see what happened, where they go. At the end of the day, if they have internet issues or they decide to go MIA, you don't really know where to go. You're left
Yeah.
unhinged and without any support. So I think that's the biggest exposure is they really are gone and they're halfway around the world and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, that freaks me out, by the way, because we employ a lot of them. And I started using virtual assistants back in way before the craze that now is hiring virtual assistants came on. And
Mhm.
that was really back in the, late, I'm going to say 98. So I've been using them for a long time. And one way I think of getting around that fear, because that's a real legitimate con, by the way, is, making sure that all the processes are recorded for the next virtual assistant or next overseas employee coming in, that they know what to do, so it cuts down the downtime. um, that's number one. Number two, going back to probably a point I should have said earlier, it's hard to, that's a con that's difficult because you're right, you never know if they're going to leave. But well,
Mhm.
really, one potential way of kind of negating that potential is by making sure you hire the right person, which is really difficult. You can lower your risk, but really only lower it to a certain extent.
Yeah, I agree with that. If you're an entrepreneur out there and you're just getting started and this is your sole support, my biggest point of recommendation is know their job, know how to do their
Yeah.
job. Obviously, if you have process and procedures, that's great. But at the end of the day, just like being able to jump in and not skip a beat, should you lose that support, it's crucial to your organization, especially in the early years. So that would be advice to anybody is know how to do their job so that in the event that that happens, you minimize the exposure there. But overall, I think that it's a win-win situation. I think that you can hire someone who is very educated, knowledgeable, has heart, wants to help grow your business, and is going to be available to you whenever you need them. I think that it's absolutely a pro, and everybody should explore that option.
And we definitely at vastsolutionsgroup.com know a lot about working with virtual assistants. You've worked with a number of them in the past. We have, I don't even call them virtual assistants, I call them employees,
Yeah.
because they're part of the team as far as I'm concerned. And we have a good group. And if anyone needs, any advice out there, we can probably help offer some advice. And maybe even our virtual assistants can help, as a matter of fact. But time to close up shop. What I would say is, man, this has been awesome. I mean, we're new in this journey, you and I, with doing the podcast, both visual and audio versed, and I think it's awesome. I'm having a good time.
I'm excited too. I agree with you. This is, I think, our third one, and I think it's brought up already really interesting topics for us to chat about. So I'm looking forward to more. But yeah, been great, and look forward to doing more.
Nice. If anyone needs any help, go to vastsolutionsgroup.com. Once again, this is Kenner French and Lily Faulkner of the Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Thanks again, you guys.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.